Oh, well, listen, we are in the kitchen. If you're thinking, oh, what can I make for lunch or dinner, then stay tuned because this next recipe is a quick fix.
There is a classic mayonnaise that brings out the traditional French in 3 levels of tanginess. The mild classic, the medium classic, the strong classic. Tangy the way you love it.
Made with love by Clover.
Oh, well, listen, whether it's lunch or an easy dinner, nothing beats a classic pizza. But if low carb is the name of your game, you will love our next recipe. We are about to show you how to make sheet pan veggie pizza. And it also features all the classic flavors of the original, but we are guaranteed that you are gonna love this, and all pizza lovers will also love this. And that's why we have Chef Tumi here to show us how to make sheet pizza.
Yes, so my friend, imagine you get a pizza, you've had this craving, and you say to yourself, I want some really good pizza. And the pizza comes in front of you and all you see is crust but no filling, no topping.
Yeah, I would be upset.
I mean, so how's
upset.
about we take the crust out completely and we just give you filling on filling.
Just the toppings.
Just the toppings.
Ooh.
Just the toppings, nothing else. I feel like that for me is more than enough pizza for anyone.
I've seen kids eat like that. They just eat all the toppings and then they leave the base.
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to say, avoid those mistakes. Just give them a whole tray full of the fillings, the toppings, and that's what we're about to do. And it starts off with the humble veg, you know, whatever mixed veg filling or rather you might have in the freezer, whatever you might have, just defrost those babies, bake it up, and you have this as the actual base.
And so often you cook roasted veggies for lunch or dinner and then you have leftovers.
Correct.
So this is a great thing to also do with some leftover veg.
Exactly, and the other thing is a lot of people right now are doing this low carb this, low carb that. So people are trying to minimize their carb intake, and this is the great the option that you can use for that. So you top up on the fillings, the toppings. In this instance, we're using veg, but let's just say you wanted to add some of your flavors, like you like your pepperoni or your bacon. You're more than welcome to do that as well. But in this instance, we're keeping it very veg, and that's why we're doing like this now. Just our veggies. We've got some butternut in there. We've got some red onion. We've got some zucchini. So whatever veg you might have. Like you said, I like the option you mentioned, leftover veggies you might have in the house. Just throw it all in there.
Add it there. So the veg acts as your base, and if you were gonna like spice it up, adding your protein to it, this is also the time to then add those bits of meat.
Right. So now, obviously, any pizza base has a tomato sauce. In this instance, if you don't have tomato sauce, I also do advise you can use any just normal sauce in your house that you might have. Some people like their pizzas with the white sauce. So let's just say you had some leftover bechamel. You could also use that. But in this instance, we're gonna have some of our Clover Classic mayo added there for that zinginess, to bring all these flavors in here. You've got your sweetness coming from your butternut. You've got your earthiness coming from the rosemary we put in there. So we're topping it up with our Clover Classic.
So which one are we using? We're using the #1 tangy mayonnaise mildness. Mildness #1. And the Clover Classic mayonnaise has a range of tangy mayonnaises that comes in 3 different levels of tanginess. There's mild, which we are using, medium and strong. And you can also use any of it that suits your taste and preferences. It really is versatile to use, and it enhances the flavors, bringing you tasty, mouth-watering food with every single bite. And I love that you mixed it in there.
So imagine now, people are probably wondering, Dumi, you're just basically talking to us about a veg bake. How is this an actual pizza? How do we bring it together so that you're able to still get
more
definitive slices when you cut into it? This is where the cheese comes in, because it's going to melt up in the oven as it cooks, and then basically hold everything together so that it's easier for you to cut through. As you can see, our sheet pan over there, we baked it up. Make sure you get nice and golden brown, and then once we've done that, we add more of our toppings here. We've got some
Do you break the onion? It's best to maybe break the onion.
It is best, because it can
get a chunk of onion.
It can be overpowering, and even though we're using the red onion, which is slightly milder, it can still be a little bit overpowering. So just a little bit goes a long way. And if you wanted to add more of your spices, like some people want to add more oregano right now, this is where you'd add that as well. This little baby goes into the oven to bake until the cheese is nicely melted. Top her up with some basil. And there's your...
And you are ready to go. How amazing is this? I love that this is a different carb-free take on pizza. It is our classic mayo sheet pan veggie pizza. If you want to get your hands on this recipe, it is available on our website, expressoshow.com. Just look at that deliciousness. Chef Tumi, thank you for joining us. And if you perhaps missed any of the steps to this delicious recipe, here's a quick recap for you.
Made with love by Clover.